business here because I've been here before.
Amen.
But that's something we got to look at. See, when children come in church and see us being entertained through music, what's wrong with me putting on my beats and listening to some music? Same thing as running wild through the church. You know what I'm saying? You don't see that kind of enthusiasm. The pastor opens up to the book of Genesis and starts reading there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And so we've got to get ourselves in order so that the child can have the right, proper example. Now, are any musicians in here tonight? Any musicians in here? All right. Now look, don't jump on the musicians. Now I'm not saying that, but I'm saying, look, let them play their music up to the Lord.
That's
right.
That's right. Yeah. Amen. Amen.
But are there any other things that y'all want to put on the diagram before we get? We're gonna put some other things on as we read through this. Yes, Reverend.
I'd like to just add killing. I mean, you know, this murder.
Murder.
Yeah, that's. I mean, I just like to add it.
Well, it's in all of this. I mean, all of these perpetuate words. See, when I get to the outside of it, then we'll connect to it. Reverend, you way ahead now. Let us get there now. Let us get there. Hold on. Hold back. All right.
But you know, toys. Just simple toys.
Toys, absolutely.
My grandkids don't go to movies or anything, but the toys.
The toys. Yes, sir. Money. More so, I think, are you talking about how you obtain it? Or some of these video games, you gain money by doing some things to people. But the love of money, we'll just say. We already know what that means. The love of. The pursuit of it in such a way. Because I'm running out of space, let's get through the article. Because y'all too fast here. All right. Second paragraph says, in a long-term study of 118 pairs of identical twins, researchers at the Duke University found that boys and girls who had experienced violence had shorter genetic structures called telomeres than youngsters who had a more peaceful upbringing. The children in the former group had been physically abused by an adult or bullied frequently, or had witnessed violence between the ages of 5 and 10. So now we got another thing here. See? Called domestic violence. Violence in the home, not just a man towards a woman or a woman towards a man, but just violence in the home.
Yeah.
Which is violence? Yes, Reverend.
The environment, violence to our
Hold on, That, that's one of my favorite ones. I guess I gotta hold off on that. But violence in the home, let's deal with that. Is it violent where our children live?
Some of them.
Where they play?
Yes. Yes.
Where they walk and have to go to school? Is the school violent?
Yes.
Is the community center that they play basketball or baseball or football, is it violent? Yes, ma'am.
Did you link the cycle of poverty with that?
Absolutely. Absolutely. But the reason why I haven't done it yet, because as soon as we say poverty, we think that's the major issue.
That's right.
Let's break it down before we get to poverty. Let's deal with some of the angles that we can control.
Yes, sir.
Sometimes we can't control poverty, but these things we can. You understand? I may be born in poverty. My mother may be have been born in poverty. I can't necessarily control that as a child or as a young person growing up. When I get a little older, I can do something about it. But absolutely, poverty is very, very critical. But see, when you talk poverty in this country, you just want to lay it down on some people want to lay it down on a few people or a few organizations, And it's the responsibility of everyone.
That's exactly right.
That's right.
All right? So domestic violence.
Which is also going on inside the church as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Very good, right? Look how we treat, look, you can look, I don't care if you say you saved or not. Listen, sometimes you don't treat people right.
That's right.
That's true.
And got children walking behind.
That's right.
You know, look at her. You know, coming up in the church. I'm just saying now. Not here. Not here. Now, look. This is heaven in here. I'm just saying.
Hey,
But I'm saying the attitudes that folk bring to church sometimes, you can't even conduct a meeting
Yes, sir.
wow.
Yes, sir.
in spirit.
Okay.
Because, and that's violence.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You may not have physically done some things to somebody, but there's a verbal violence. Of course. Okay? Something that we call the psychosomatic. Psychosomatic things. Psycho meaning mind. Somatic meaning body. How things that happen in your mind affect what your body does.
Yes, sir.
Okay? Tell me how energetic you are when you're feeling sad. Tell me how much enthusiasm you have when you're depressed. Tell me how much love you're ready to share when you're going through it. All of these conditions affect your body physically. We just read that the children who had a more peaceful upbringing didn't have the shorter chromosomes. So we must, at this point now, move in the direction of bringing more peace to our communities, to our homes, to our children, to our family members, churches. I have a philosophy that I tell all my students as soon as they take me. I say, now look, I got a philosophy for you. You want to get an A in this class? All you got to do is this one thing. Take the low road, right? Take the low road for the higher purpose.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
See? When I'm not treating you right, continue to do my work. And you're going to get that high grade. No. I didn't mean it that way. I didn't mean it that way. If Reverend Favors is not treating you well in the class, take that low road. Do your thing so you can get your grade. But in real life, sometimes you're going to have to take the low road just to get along with people who can't see where you're coming from, whether it's in love or not. Your love can't be seen sometimes by being high and mighty all the way. You're going to have to get down low to show some love.
Yes, sir.
And if you don't like it, you might have to go even lower. Because the low road is what Jesus took to show us love.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And he's supposed to be our example. All right? Now, domestic violence. All right, let's get through this article because I'm running out of time here. How much time I got, Rick? All right. And more types of violence a child has, I'm on the third paragraph now. And the more types of violence a child had experienced, the faster his or her telomeres eroded, said the study leader, Edan Shalavi, which published the findings Tuesday in the Journal of Molecular Psychiatry. Telomeres are strands of protected DNA that cap the tips of chromosomes inside the cells. Each time a cell divides, the telomeres get a little bit shorter. All right? Scientists have demonstrated a link between shortened telomeres and susceptibility to disease, suggesting that they are a useful gauge of biological age. All right? Now, I know I got to look 21 up in here. You know what I'm saying? I know you look 21, but that ain't your biological age. So your biological age may be 10. So I ain't saying nothing, it might be 10. But depending on how much we have endured, and in a large way, children don't have the avenues to deal with the violence the way adults do. They don't have the experience, number one.
That's true.
Okay? And two, they don't have the mental resources. Some things you see like, oh well, you know, to God be the glory, and you know, let's keep going. Go ahead.
So you're saying that all this violence that we keep shoving at them through all of these methods shortens their lifespan?
Mm-hmm.
And attention span.
Attention. Mm-hmm.
Not only that, you got to use violence, as she says, to get their attention.
Yeah.
And that's about within the classroom itself. Because they're so used to being interrupted constantly.
And so they act out in the
They're
classroom what they see.
entertained constantly.
Mm.
So it's a struggle.
But go back to your what? 2 principles of the family now. Go back to your 2 principles of the family. One moral and one physical. Go back to the moral principle. What is the moral principle? To train children to what? Take their individuality and bring it under the higher unity. Whether that be in the classroom, the church, the family, wherever they go.
Yeah.
So they know how to act no matter where they go.
Yes.
Too much of this has been given to the government and other places. I'm sorry. And if you give the training of our children to the government, they're going to continue to build jails for them. That's right.
And it starts in the homes and also the churches, which is an extension of the home.
Absolutely.
It's critical that the children come to the church so that they can, as a family unit, receive the structures. And
But if they come into the church and all we doing is playing some instruments and singing, you know what I'm saying? It's out of place still.
Yeah.
If they see us get emotionally high on a song, you don't think that that child is going to go back, go on the internet, listen to some music, see some video on the TV, and act it out just the way he or she saw it in the church, without the Bible being involved.
So then
I stand, listen, y'all tell me, I'm asking a question now. I'm asking a question. Do you think that our children, when they go see us, you know what I'm saying, you know, get free in the church, be free in the spirit on the music, you know, God may be moving, that's beautiful. But then after the movement, you come down off the movement and look at people like they're crazy. You know, after you had your experience, children watching all that. You're teaching whether you know it or not. It does. It destabilizes their ability to make those judgments that we need them to make growing up. We've got to give them more of a cultural foundation. And that's included in the church.
we've got to make sure they get the word, the teaching.
And the example of the living of the word.
Right.
See,
Right.
see, that experience may not be in the word.
Right.
If you know what I mean.
Right.
That musical experience may not be in the word.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things about it is that anything that is short term, even violence is short term.
Mm-hmm.
But to live out something, live out the example for people is a much more powerful tool.
Mm-hmm.
See what I'm saying? Because most people learn from that experience. We learn from our parents by the things that they did on their daily regimen. Right?
That's right.
Now sometimes this was the regimen, you know what I'm saying? You know? We learned, but that was short compared to the love and care and other things that they gave us, right? Short term, right?
Right.
Y'all, they're too smart for me.
Can we add diets